Hello everyone, my name is Umang and welcome to my channel Get Sage. Today we are going to talk about a very important aspect of our placements, the resume. And everyone has heard of that first impression is the last impression. It's not your personality which is the first impression, your resume is the first impression for every interview. Thus, I'm going to tell you a lot of tips and tricks for the resume and how to create a perfect resume and what things to avoid. So be with me till the end and you're going to have a perfect resume till the end of this video. So let's start. So let's start with the basic. Every resume should contain at least these 5 basic parameters. First, your academics. Second, your experience. Third, your projects. Fourth, your award and achievements. And fifth, some extra volunteering or hobbies or whatever you want to write. And one additional bonus point if you have a position of responsibility, and do not write your fest work or some useless work as position of responsibility because it will degrade your resume. So let's start with the basic 10 tips which you should always keep in your mind while preparing your resume. First, it's the reflection of your basic reporting skills. So if you cannot edit or create your own resume in a clean and tidy manner, you cannot write any report work or any business work. So no one will accept you. Thus, you should always pick a template which is very clean and has a very good rapport. Second, a resume shows your tidiness and quality. So you have to keep it highly professional and should always use professional fonts. Next, the most important tip that I would like to say is do not write unnecessary things like gender or maybe a family relation or a family name like father's name or something like that. And do not put your address in your resume. Another tip which I want to say is only write one mobile number and one email address. Do not confuse the interviewer or do not write extra things which does not need to be there. The next tip I would like to mention is keep it as short as possible. A one-page resume is the most liked one because no one wants to turn pages while reading a resume, as he might want to go up and down on the resume again and again, so he doesn't want to turn the page. So one-page resume is the key. One thing I've noticed is using too many colors on your resume, it just makes a bad look. So use at max one extra color other than black and white if you really need to for headings or something else. Do not overuse colors unless you are making a resume for a graphic designer or an artist that needs a different approach. Another important aspect is do not write links or profile links or some website link, as no one is going to type your links on their web browser to check it out. Most as you can use is a QR code, and I will also not suggest that. So do not use links in any manner. Another point is use divider lines in between different sections, like after academic and before experience you should keep a divider line. Writing it just again and again or not creating a division between it does not look very good and is not very focused approach of writing a resume. And the final general tip I would like to give is reduce the amount of white space in your resume. Those extra white spaces at the end of the resume or in between the resume makes a really bad impression that you have not filled out, or it looks like it's something empty on your resume. So use least amount of white space. The page should be filled but not overfilled. So the white space should not be in the middle, or you can have white space on the borders but not in between the resume. That's a main giveaway that you are missing out on something, or it shows that this person lacks a certain quality. That's why this white space is remaining, so avoid that. Now let's go on section by section and find out what all we should keep in mind while building a perfect resume. And always do keep in mind, first impression is the last impression and resume is your first impression. Now let's come to the academic portion of your resume. There are mainly 3 tips that I would like to give you. First is use tables while writing the academic degrees or maybe the courses you have done. Second, keep it as short and keep it as latest as possible. Do not write extra degrees or some degrees which are not useful. Third, use short forms where possible. Like some people write senior secondary examination and full form. You can write it like AISSE or something like that. Do not write full names. Try to be as short as possible. These are the main things for academic, as you can't do much because these are those courses that you can't fool around. You have to be precise and perfect in them. Now let's go to the second aspect, the experience. Similarly, in experience you cannot write extra things which you have not done, thus it has to be as precise as possible. But in experience I would like to say that you should add the team you worked in, the duration of that specific experience, about the company, about the problems you faced while during those experience, and some solution if you want to write, or the projects you have done in that experience. One of the most important tip in this I will like to give you that always keep verified certificates of all experience you have written, because in any background check of any company you might get rejected if you don't have verifiable certificates with you for each experience. Now let's go to the project section of your resume. And to keep in mind, a calculator is not a project. Anyone can make a calculator in any language using any of the basic course, or even just download it. So it's not a project. Or even the example projects in any courses are also not project. Like those websites having just some objects is not a project. It has to be some elaborate ones, or having some type of problems you might have faced, or some new innovation you might have done. So projects need to be at very good quality, because giving away basic projects is a very bad thing. Also, a point I would like to add, do not put repetitive projects in your resume. Like if you have made an Android app, so if you have made 5 Android apps, do not write all the 5, just write one, and it will show you the skill that you know creating an Android app. Similarly for other things. So write the best project in that skill, or maybe in that scenario. So do not overwrite or repeat similar projects. Next, one of the most important or interview specific section is the position of responsibility, or POR. And mind me, fest work is not POR. You have to be in some leadership position or something of a very good skill. It's like क्या करा है तुमने 4 साल में या 3 साल में जो तुम्हें hire करें, तो it's the POR. Because without POR, you are just a basic ordinary kid with some CGPA and some coding skills. So having POR is necessary, but it's not the end of the world. You can go without it. Another important part of a resume are the skills. You have to write the specific skills in a very good manner, because writing unnecessary skills like Microsoft Office or operating systems, those are not skills. A Word or PowerPoints are not skills. Everyone knows that. So do not ever write in your resume. Also, do not put personal skills like friendly or leadership qualities or positive attitude, quick learner. Those are not skills in that section. You can tell in your intro, maybe in the interview, but in a resume, they do not look good, because you are dictating someone's own opinion with your language. So never do that. Another extra section you can add are awards and achievement, and always put some credible awards or achievement. Do not put excessive extra awards or some participation things, because they do not help you. Another thing in that is always use numeric data, or something like what position you got, or how many did participate in that particular competition. So that gives some credibility to the awards and achievements. And the last thing, or the final thing you can add in your resume, is volunteering. So any social work you did, that gives a bit extra edge to your resume. It shows that you have done some other things not for your own selfishness. Also, there are many other points you can add in your resume, like some like paper published. You can, for those, the project tips do work as same as in the paper published. Then some other extra things you want to add, but to keep it a one-page resume and do not over exceed data in it. It's like creating a balance between the least white space and the least data. I hope you got a lot of help from this video, and do let me know any other doubts in the comment section, or message me directly, and I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, be safe and get saged.
Like this video and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss any update from Get Saged.